guys. How's it going? Hey, thanks everybody for coming out to our spooky, scary Halloween show. I don't know what it's called, but it's Halloween and you're here. There's a lot of choices that you could have made tonight of things to do, and we're glad that you chose us. And we're gonna pay it back to you with some sweet comedy business. Has anyone here in the audience ever been to an improv show before? Yeah. Has anyone been to one of our shows specifically? Who wants to explain to the rest of the audience what improv means?
Patrick does.
It's a test. You didn't know you were going to get quizzed here.
Patrick does.
Patrick. All right, Patrick. Let's give it up for Patrick, guys.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What is improv?
Improv is being funny while on the spot. Everything's made up on the spot, and it comes off of audience suggestions, and hopefully it's funny, actually.
All right, that was like a B+ answer. It's still a passing grade. No, it was really good. Give him up. Give him a hand. Yeah, so improv comedy is completely unscripted, unplanned, unpracticed. In fact, we get together every week and we practice not practicing. It's also known as procrastination. So what we do is we feed off of audience energy, kind of like a vampire. Cause it's spooky. Okay. So we feed off the audience energy, right? We get suggestions from you based on things that you've done in your life, and we'll act out scenes and make fun of you, but we also make fun of ourselves. So let's practice doing that for a little bit. Let's practice getting suggestions from the audience. So I'll only hear from a couple of you at a time, because if you're all shouting at the same time, I can't hear anything. So from this side of the audience, let's get a suggestion. Maybe somewhere you've gone with your grandma recently. Montana. Sounds fun. The hospital. That sounds worse. Okay, the other side of the audience. Let's get a suggestion. Someplace you might want to take a girl or a guy on a date, depending on your gender.
Montana.
We're going to have fun tonight in Montana. Someone this is Nickel Cave.
Hospital.
What? You take a girl to the hospital and hey, I was just wondering if you'd want to go maybe dinner and some immunizations. Because smallpox is no laughing matter. You guys are terrible at dates. Let's practice one more. Anyone from the audience, shout out maybe something you wouldn't want to find in your backpack.
Gum!
Snake, gum. Someone said an apple? Oh, an apple with a blade? Okay, that's just like a general thing you wouldn't want to have ever. But I guess it applies to your backpack as well. Smallpox. You guys have been in some strange situations, let me tell you that. So this is great. You guys have done really good giving suggestions. We also need you to have energy, though. The more energy you have, the happier we're going to be on stage, and the better we'll perform. So we're going to practice something that's called the clap up. It's a clap meter where we go from 0 to 10. 0 would be like you're not excited because I'm up here and it's awkward and I don't know how to say jokes, and so you're just like, oh, that guy, have a little clap because we feel bad and we just want to leave. It's too real. It's too real for me. Okay, let's move up to 3 before I start crying. Three's like, oh, yeah, I just saw a funny thing on the internet that made me laugh. That's a bad example too. Let's take it up to a 6. Maybe, oh, you just saw the new Star Wars movie and you're like, oh, that was pretty good. It's still kind of weird that we're clapping in a movie theater, like no one's here to appreciate the applause, but it was a good movie, so I'll clap, right? You'll get like an 8, like, oh, yeah, that guy just fell on his face, and now I made myself sad because I shouldn't be clapping at that. And then you go to like a 9, almost to a 3. Because someone made an off-color joke, and we don't do that. And then back up to a 10! Let's get a player's number here! we'll also have them explain their costumes in case they weren't obvious enough. Starting here.
Joshua, Marty McFly, I'm not sure what year it is.
Jacob, as Toad. I know what year it is.
Yeah!
My name is Marshall. I'm Slenderman without stilts. I got my legs chopped off.
I'm Gabriel Golding, and I'm Dwight Schrute, and I actually do happen to be the assistant club president.
Assistant to the club president.
That's not a joke, that's real.
Hello! My name's Parker, and I'm a Teletubby.
Again.
Hello! My name's Parker, and I'm a Teletubby.
I'm Spider-Man. Oh, jeez. Oh, Tony Stark's gonna do my mom. I mean, my aunt. There's that off-color joke. We got it out of the way. All right.
Where you at, Alan?
All right. I'm Alan. I'm a professor who's a tree from Pokemon. I've decided which one because I'm not a botanist. Our setup is a little bit different. Let's get all our players off the stage because the first game that we're going to play for you tonight is a fun game we like to call Mousetraps. And for this game, we need Parker and Josh, players, to the front. All right, so the way this game works is our players are up on the stage, and the stage is covered with mousetraps in case you didn't notice, and they are armed and loaded. And our players have blindfolds, and they don't have their shoes on. We're gonna perform a scene for you, and they can't see what they're doing, and they'll step on some mousetraps. So let's get a suggestion from you. Let's get a location where these people might be found. So someplace. You might be scared of if you were in a scary movie. The basement. That's a perfect suggestion. Players, your suggestion is basement. Are you ready?
Yes!
Mom, will you come check under my bed? I'm scared. There's a monster under my bed.
Honey, when you moved into the basement, the agreement was I never have to go down there. I never look at your stuff. I never look at your mess. It's a mutual agreement.
I'm scared. Mom, come in my room.
Okay, Sally. I'll be down there soon. Here, let me take my first step.
Hurry, Mom, hurry.
Are you okay, honey? Because I think I'm doing more dangerous things than you.
I'm just really scared right now.
Okay, well here, how about you come up the stairs a little and we'll meet on the landing. In the middle. Huh? I took a step. How about you, honey? You can do this.
Step taken. Let's check that mark right off and now come check my closet for this monster.
All right. Honey, I can't turn the lights on, honey. I can't see anything.
Oh, okay, the lights are on over here. Lights out.
Thank you. That's much better.
All right. Here's my bed. Will you get down on your hands and knees and check?
Because I love you, honey. You know I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Honey, I don't see anything.
Really? I swear there's something different. A second ago. Let me just check myself.
I'm pretty sure, honey. Where'd you? Honey, no.
Oh, I'm right here.
Oh my gosh. Are you all right, darling?
I think so.
Are you okay? What is this? It's okay. You know what?
Mom.
You know what? You can just live down here now.
I got you a present, Mom. It's right here. All right. I kept it on the floor, right? Oh, right here.
if you're still alive in 20 minutes.
I had a nightmare, Mom, and there's a fire everywhere, and I forgot what you should do during a fire. What is the thing that you always tell me during a fire?
Well, first up, you stop next to somebody you care about very, very much. Then you both drop to the ground.
Okay.
Your last moments together.
Uh-huh.
And then you roll them off the stage.
We're just going to keep things rolling with our second game, which is called Last Action Joke. And for this game, I need all the players to the front! So this is a game. This is a game where our players will be making terribly awkward puns based off of objects that we'll get from you as a suggestion, and they're using these puns as like a one-liner after they kill somebody in an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. So let's get an item, an everyday item you might use.
Computer. Prayers.
Scotch tape.
Scotch tape.
This is so you don't recognize me on the camera footage. Because you with the pig nose and stuff.
I planned this murder so perfectly, I'm gonna get off scotch-free.
Stick around. Take them off! There we go.
All right, let's get a new object. Let's maybe something something that you use at work.
Glasses. Rubber band.
Glasses?
Meat slicer.
Camera.
Scissors.
I heard a camera. Let's use that.
Oh, no one wants to shoot me?
Okay, now a silly one.
We have for you tonight is called Two-Line Vocabulary, and for this game I need Tanner, Gabe, and Marshall players to the front! So the way that this game works is we'll be performing a scene for you, but two of our players up here on the stage have a very limited vocabulary because they did not go to college, and they only have two phrases that they can say ever. And that's how it works. So let's get suggestions from you guys. So let's start off with a question your mother maybe asked you one time. All right, can you please repeat to the audience what your phrases are?
I'm confused.
Do you have two, Gabe?
No, I have one.
It needs a second one.
Do you have, I would never do that? What is it?
There was
Yeah, I have-
wrong with you and I would never do that. There was
Okay,
get a real
what-
job. Did you get that
I
one?
get a real job.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you like my eyes?
Do you like my eyes?
Yeah, do you like my
You're
eyes?
actually taking that one.
Yeah, that's what that did. Yep. All right, let's get a suggestion for our players to start off. Let's get maybe something that you wouldn't want to find in your pants.
Montana.
What's with Montana? I'm really curious. Did something happen to you in Montana? Are you bringing like some repressed memory you're bringing up for some reason at an improv show? Let's take Montana. Players, are you ready?
Yes! Well, Jim, you're my new farmhand here in Montana farms, because I assume that's what they have in Montana, because who goes to Montana?
Get a real job.
Hey, that's why you're here, right? So come with me. Oh, it's the bank man. Oh no, I forgot to tell you I haven't paid bills in 30 weeks. That's actually not that long a time.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
I'm poor, dang it!
I would never do that.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Bankman, with your fancy suits and your bills and all your stuff. Oh.
Get a real job.
Yeah! Hey, don't take that out on my hand. Hey, that was really good. I think you'll go far in this business, kid.
Do you like my eyes?
You know we can't because of your contract. Yes. But yes, I do like your eyes. Now you.
What is wrong with you?
Hey, you know what? Can't a guy tell another guy he likes the look of his eyes? I mean, screw gender norms.
I would never do that.
You know what? Here, take it. Here's $5, here's $6. That's all the money I have. Take it and be gone with your banking ways.
Get a real job.
Yeah, again. Now, let's go over now.
Do you like my eyes?
Doesn't matter. Come here. Listen. It's just you, me, and Bessie now. We're just gonna milk it all day. Just gonna milk it for all it's worth.
I would never do that.
You were gonna kill me!
I said I would never do that.
You have the knife there in your hand! You thought about it, you know what the Bible says. If you thought it, you done it. Out!
What is wrong with you?
You're a murdering psychopath and you don't have a real job!
Do you like my eyes?
Something else. We're gonna slow things down a little bit tonight, and we're gonna have a game. We're gonna play a game called Advice Panel. For this game, I need Jacob, Tanner, and Marshall, players, to the front. So we've labored to assemble a panel of experts on just about any field imaginable to come and present for us today, so that if you guys had any burning questions or advice or anything that you needed to know about life, these guys can pretty much answer it. So let's just, we've got to introduce them first. Where's that second mic? Is it back?
It's right here. No, I got it, Mr.
All right, let's have our panelists introduce themselves really quick.
I'm Rex. I'm the T-Rex, and I'm a vegan. Yes. I'm a vegan, and that's helped me survive the apocalypse. I'm the only one left of all of my friends, except for this idiot. Came out of a cave after they all died.
All right, let's give it up for Rex.
Our second panelist, please introduce yourself.
Me Grog. Me IT guy. Me very good IT guy. Big business, big company. Me Grog.
All right, let's give it up for Grog. And our third panelist, please, take it away.
Ahoy there, mateys. My name isn't important, but you can call me Skipper. I have sailed these briny seas for some 5 months. And a curse has befallen me, a terrible, terrible curse. Because it's Halloween. It's spooky.
How appropriate. Let's give it up for Skipper. All right. Okay, now it's time to open up the panel to the audience. Let's start off with the back half of the audience. Maybe who needs some advice today? Raise your hand. All right, what's going on in your life?
Is going to college worth it?
Okay, so let's talk about higher education. Skipper?
If I've learned one thing, if you're gonna set sail, you gotta know which way the wind's blowing.
You gotta know which way the current's going, and you gotta know which island's got the worst curses. I remember the first time I set sail, I set out for the ancient island of Makalapa. I can't remember the name. But I landed and I set a foot and I went about and I found a tribe of native people and I said, ahoy there, mateys, because I say ahoy mateys to everyone. And they said, oh, hey, you look like you could want to learn our voodoo magic ways. And I said, yes. And they said, okay, well, for just 5 small payments of $2,500, we will teach you everything we know. And so I learned, and I set sail, I gave them my booty, and it was all good. When I got back, they kept sending me letters asking for more money, even though I had left a long time ago. I wasn't learning anymore, and that curse still haunts me to this day.
All right.
It's terrible.
I think Rex has something he'd like to add to the subject.
I only have one thing to say. I went to college and I have a really big head, and I still have little arms.
Thanks. Let's give it up for Rex, I guess. Rob, did you have something to add? If not, we can move on.
Grod no go to school. Grod caveman. But Grod know about computers. Grod know that sometimes more, not always better. i5 processor have 2 core. The i7 processor have 4 core, but program not always optimized for 4 core. Program use only 1 or 2 core. So 4 core runs slower than 2 core. i7 sometimes slower than i5, and this no good. Sometimes college not always best. Grog know this. Grog know sometimes 4 not better than 2.
I'm starting to realize we should have screened some of our applicants before we made this panel, but that's all right. We're here, so we're going to keep on going. From the front half of the audience, let's get. Who else needs some advice in life? Or from any part? All right. What do you need to know?
What if I like a guy who's ugly? What should I do? Should I stop liking him?
Well, you know, there's more to people than meets the eye. Like, do you share interests in music? Don't be so judgmental. Next question.
Yeah, let's get someone else from the audience. Yeah. What's going on?
Sometimes my car makes a really, really weird noise. What should I do to figure that out?
All right, let's talk about cars. You guys should. Yeah, let's.
I have a ship. I think the two things there would be parallels that they could link. I mean,
What car?
All right, Skipper, tell us about your ship.
okay. Now I sail on the Minnowy McMinnow. That's my ship and I love it. But one day I set sail and by golly, I realized there were barnacles and you know that disease people get when you don't eat fruit all over in my ship. Scurvy, that's it. And so I said, we need to clean things here. And so I took my ship to the ship wash. And they have this nice thing where you put your doubloons in and you put it in and it just pushes your ship through and cleans it off for you. And it was all well and good. But then the Minnowy was cursed. For you see, things had fallen in between the floorboards on the poop deck, and so I went to the vacuum, and I got it, and I put in 3 doubloons, and the vacuum was running, but it shut off after 1 minute. And I had to put in 3 more doubloons, and vacuum some more, and it shut off another minute. And the captain beside me vacuuming his ship, well, it just kept running. And I had to think, is this because I have a black beard or something? That's just another off-color joke for you.
Okay, let's give it up for Skipper. Anyone else have anything to add about cars, or should we move on?
Someone has a question.
Rex, go back to your seat.
Stand. What do you just stay away from them? All right, yeah, back there. What's burning your brain drums?
I'm just wondering, like, how to have a healthy diet on a college budget.
That is a good question. Healthy budgets and poor people.
Ask Rex.
All right, Rex. Are you gonna behave yourself?
It's all about fruits. Eat those fruits and vegetables, give up the meat. You never want to eat meats, ever. You never want to eat them. They're so bad for you. And they're your friends. If you get into eating meat, one day you're going to find that there's a whole lot of people on the planet, and then you're going to eat all of them. That's why you got to go for fruits. The trees don't care. Just pick some fruit off a tree, it's free. It's free. Things used to be better before processed chicken and processed pterodactyls. You never know what happened to my girlfriend Terry. You happened.
All right, thanks, Rex. That was insightful. Let's hear from Grog.
Me caveman. Me like meat. Me love eat pterodactyl. Pterodactyl delicious. But Grog no meat healthy. Now, Grog no understand many things. Grog no internet security. Grog no firewall. But Grog no know what fire is. So, Grog eat meat fresh off of pterodactyl. Delicious. Because Grog no understand. You eat raw meat exactly as is delicious. Good for belly. Grow strong like Grog. T-Rex man weird.
All right, let's hear from Skipper real quick. Now this curse is a fresh one. You see, sometimes when you're sailing the briny seas and you don't know how to fish or you forget to pack food, you have to rely on the people around you. Now I remember once upon a time before I set sail, I was roommates with these two people, and by golly, I could not be bothered to go to the grocery store, and I was cursed to have to eat only fruits and vegetables. And the worst part was when I was done and I had to go to the captain's quarters, if you know what I mean. I walk in on my roommate's pterodactyl girlfriend, and it was terrible because I couldn't even hear her because the P is silent. It was terrible. It was a terrible curse. That was a really corny joke, Tanner.
I know. I like corn.
The P is silent in pterodactyl. All right, we're gonna play another game for you called Ghost Story. For this game, I need all the players to the front. So we're gonna tell a spooky, scary ghost story for you today, but the problem is only one of our players can talk at a time, and I'll be directing them. If I move my hand away, they have to stop talking immediately, mid-sentence, mid-syllable, mid-word, and if they don't, then we'll slowly eliminate them until we get the last two. It's a challenge game. The last person that wins. So let's get a suggestion from you guys. A spooky, a scary story you might tell over a campfire. A ghost story.
Demon summoning.
That doesn't exist already, so no Slenderman. Something made up completely.
Demon summoning for dummies.
What?
Demon summoning for dummies.
This is okay. Demon hunting for dummies. Demon hunting for dummies. All right. And what's the name of the first chapter?
So you got demons.
So you got demons. All right, players. This is Demon Hunting for Dummies, Chapter 1. So you got demons. Are you ready?
Yes! So you got demons, eh? Well, sucks for you. But guess what? We don't tell you how to get rid of them. We tell you how to
stop them from coming in. That's right, in this book you'll learn how to hunt demons in the most effective way possible. Now, you may be a little
intimidated by all of our amazing, talented people here on our staff. We have so many people. We have
Jack! Jack likes to summon demons, and he likes to hunt the demons that he summons. He does it all the time. He does it for breakfast sometimes. He loves demons.
He's an odd fellow, but we get valuable research from him. Be like Jack, but not without the summoning. Just the hunting.
You see, Jack is just bringing food to the table, specifically for breakfast. And whenever he goes out hunting demons, he brings his favorite
knife with him. You gotta make sure you bring your best
knife, Jack always says. One day, Jack went out and
fell on his crown, and so he had Jim and his sister go and continue hunting
for him. You see, it was a very, very big family they had, and they needed a
lot of demons to sell their souls to, because you know what a soul is
worth nowadays in this economy? It's absolutely horrendous.
Yes. Jack got up and picked up his
arm.
I'm sorry, how exactly do you pick up your broken arm? Let's get Gabe out by saying spooky, spooky, spooky. Okay, let's move on to chapter 2. What's the title of chapter 2?
Going in for the kill.
Going in for the kill. All right, let's start it off.
Jack had been hunting for weeks. He finally found the biggest one with lots of big antlers and many hooves, and he was sneaking up on them. He was sneaking
right up close for the kill. This is gonna
Feels so good. I haven't felt blood rust like this in such a long time. Did you say blood rust? Yeah. I'm sorry. Spooky, spooky, spooky. If you don't get enough iron in your blood, it's gonna rust. That is the opposite. All right, let's skip on to chapter 5 because this is really weird.
There's a demon on your face.
You have a demon on your face? What happened? Oh, if you find a demon on your face, yeah, a little specific. All right, let's start off.
Jennifer had been in this situation before. You see, Jennifer was one who liked sticking her face in strange places, and oftentimes that meant that a demon would just get stuck to
her face. She stuck her head in a hole in a tree one day and suddenly found a demon attached
to her face. Jack loved Jennifer,
but he really loved hunting demons. He was in a quandary.
Have you ever tried shooting an apple off of someone's head, but you actually have to hit their head to do it? That's what Jack had to do, but with his knife. So he took his
trusty knife and he threw it at Jennifer's face. And it worked! The demon fell off and Jennifer stayed safe. What a coincidence!
And Jennifer was like, what the heck, man? You hit me. Oh, what were you thinking? That was a knife like 6 inches from my face. She picked it up and she ran back across the room and she saw Jack.
And she immediately said, thank you so much for saving me. But he really hadn't tried saving her. He wanted to break up, but he didn't know how to tell her.
Sorry, that's really shallow. Spooky, spooky, spooky. All right, let's get a suggestion for chapter 6. I think that's where we are. Grandma's house. You know, there's demons there in my past. All right.
Jack and Jennifer were making out at the grandma's house basement, and they were going on. Jennifer pulled off.
Jack had not been to his grandmother's house in some time, and there was a reason for that. You see, his mother, who was also his grandmother, had decided to
Spooky, spooky, spooky! I don't even want to know.
Maybe he adopted his...
Okay, I don't care. Let's get the title for chapter the last.
Nice girlfriend.
The final chapter is called Who You Gonna Call?
Girls, water is used to get rid of demons. So use those girls'
Blotters to get rid of demons sometimes. That's who you should call, the girls' blotters. We wrote it that way and we meant it. Our type editor did not make a mistake. Now this
girl's blotter's name was Rachel, and Rachel was worst enemies with Jennifer.
She really didn't like Jennifer.
She stole Jennifer's boyfriend in the 3rd grade and thinks they just haven't been right ever since.
Which is kind of funny, you'd think Jennifer would do that. Anyway, she went out hunting for demons one day, just like you do. And then suddenly...
Jack shot her with his knife.
How you go about shooting someone with your knife, but it makes for good storytelling, let me tell you that.
It happens when you don't leave the safety on.
Let's just move right along. We're going to play a game, a spooky, scary game called Chain Murder. For this game, I need Tanner, Marshall, Josh, and Jacob. Players! We need 3 of them to leave so that we can make fun of them. Jacob's such a guy. I'm not good at making fun of people.
Chicken.
All right, so
I get it. Oh, chicken.
Watch Back to the Future, folks. It's a good movie.
So this game is called this game's called Chain Murder, and essentially it's a guessing game, and we're gonna have a murder on stage, but we have to mime it to the players who've left the room because they don't know what we're gonna come up with in here. So we have to mime it to them on stage, but our players only have 3 minutes on the clock to mime it to everyone who needs to figure out the murder mystery. So it's gonna work like Clue. You have Colonel Mustard in the den with the murder weapon.
The knife.
So we need the knife that shoots, because that's a thing now. So we need a suggestion from you. Let's get an occupation for the murderer. That sounds pretty good. All right, can you please repeat to the audience what the
All right, so we got a bank robber who killed someone in a hospital with pancakes. Crime of the century.
All right. I just need to set a timer on my phone really quick. So they have 3 minutes to mime this. We're going to bring them out one at a time. And if they run out of... excuse me. If they run out of time, then that's their prerogative. That's a fancy word that you learn in college.
Here?
That I'm pretty sure I used correctly. Because I went to college.
I learned it from Britney Spears.
That's not prerogative. Get some culture.
Yes, that is what I would call culture. Okay, 3 minutes on the clock. Let's call our first player back in here on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know which one it is, otherwise I'd say their name. Someone's been murdered, and you need to figure out who done it. There's 3 minutes on the clock. Players, are you ready?
Yeah! Kill me.
Let's call our next player back in here. Count 3, 1, 2, 3. Play! All right, you have 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. Players, are you ready?
Yes!
Count of 3, 1, 2, 3, play! All right, there is, you have 21 seconds left on the clock. Players, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's line our players back up in the reverse order of how they came out, and let's see how much of that information got relayed across to Jacob. Jacob, who done it?
Well, I'm pretty sure you mined the stud finder, so it was a stud.
A bank robber.
Yeah! All right. And what was the location?
It was a construction site.
Nope.
It was the hospital.
Yeah! And what was the murder weapon?
I am confident that this one was a grappling hook.
You're wrong.
Dang it!
It was a cake. I was trying to reference the cake as a lie.
Oh, nope. Yeah! Of the first half, so bittersweet game.
Yeah!
Oh, all right, we're gonna play the game of Weekend at Bernie's. I need Tanner, Marshall, Parker, and Gabe players to the front. And so the way this game works is our players will perform a scene, a short scene for you guys, and then we're gonna choose which one of them we want to die, and they'll have to do the same scene, pretending that person is still alive. So let's get a quick suggestion. Let's get a location this time. Maybe somewhere you wouldn't want to go on vacation. Well, I certainly know I wouldn't want to go to Montana. The dentist. The dentist. Players, are you ready?
Yes. All right, Steven, I see that you've been eating lots of candy because you got lots of cavities.
Yeah, it's because it's Halloween recently and I'm buying all the candy and eating it.
Okay, well, little Steven, what I'm going to do is I'm going to numb your mouth right now.
I can't feel a head.
Yeah, that's the point.
Doctor, someone replaced all the Novocaine with cyanide. Oh dear, what have you done?
Let's pull it out. Same deal.
That's a signature.
That was awesome.
Oh, it's the Grim Reaper, I think.
Are you dead yet?
Maybe. I feel really great.
We need to do something. We can't have another death on our insurance policy.
Oh, we would be in big trouble. Oh, he's gone already. Grab onto him and pull him back to the living. Mr. Reaper, do you like candy?
I don't know what kind of dentist you guys go to, but that certainly has been a different experience for me.
It's Dave's discount dentistry.
Let's line our players up really quick. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just shout out the number of the person that sucked the most. 2! I definitely heard 2. All right, let's see that scene again.
All right, Steven. What we're going to do, we're going to take care of all those cavities. I like my cavities. Too bad. Here we go. I got my needle right here. Now, I bet you can't move your face now, can you?
Doctor, someone replaced all the Novocaine with cyanide.
What?
Oh, it's already taking effect. Oh no. Oh geez, what are we gonna do? You better get the syringe and suck it out quick before the Grim Reaper takes his soul.
Hold on, I'm just trying to get my glasses from between his legs.
Yeah, there you go. Information is important. Mr. Reaper, no, we're sucking the poison quick.
Sucking the poison.
Pull him back. Pull him back to the land of the living.
Oh, got it.
Mr. Reaper, do you like candy?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I needed Steven.
Just leave him there. Let's line our remaining players back up here. We have 1, 2, and 3. All right, I heard 3 the most. Let's see the scene again.
All right, Steven, it's time for your checkup, and you got lots of cavities. Yeah, I know I got lots of cavities. Let's get all the candy. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this needle here, and I'm gonna put it in your mouth. Oh no, does your face feel funny? Yeah, it sure does.
Something tells me that wasn't all.
Doctor, there's lots of cyanide and the things.
I'm here.
Oh no. Quick, let's grab him. Let's pull him back. Hey, do you want some candy?
Oh, I'm gonna eat it. candy season, Doctor. Let's numb you up.
But doctor, all of that, whatever that's called, is
That's the cue. I'm taking your soul. Oh no. Quick, we've got to save him. Oh wait, Mr. Grim Reaper, have some candy.